Every person has a story, but not everyone has a place to tell it. I'm Frank Swoboda. I've interviewed amazing people all over the planet. I want you to meet them. This week, the most interesting person you've never heard of is...
My name is Maisa Abudyha. I'm the most interesting person you have ever heard of because I'm the best one making fatted dajaj, and you have to try it.
So Maisa, I met you when we were filming actually a couple of different videos about Feast World Kitchen, which is here in Spokane, affectionately in the old Arctic Circle building, which is what I remember it as on 3rd Avenue, right?
Yes.
Downtown in Spokane, right near First Presbyterian Church.
Yes.
We met there because we were doing a story about Feast World Kitchen. Yeah. And kind of how it started. Can you explain what Feast World Kitchen is? I mean, the best I know, let me describe how it is, and then you tell me what I got wrong, okay? But Feast World Kitchen started really as a project, I think, partly with First Presbyterian Church, trying to find a place for immigrants who had recently moved to Spokane from countries all over the world who love food. Yeah. And sharing their food, right, with all of us here in Spokane. You needed a place where that could happen, right? And so now there's Feast World Kitchen, which, as I understand it, are many different. Every day is a different nationality that someone cooks in a different food from a different country. Is that?
Yes, we have 70 chefs. We start with 5 chefs.
70? 70?
Yes, 70 chefs. Right now, we covered around 5 continents all over the world. You will never have the same menu in the same month. You know, it's a rotation going between those chefs. So, you can have different menu every night.
What's today? What's today's menu?
So we're opening our hours Wednesday till Sunday. We're closing Monday and Tuesday we're still doing some stuff in the building. So
because this is fairly new, right? You haven't only moved in.
Yes.
In the last year?
Last 2 years, but it was a really old building and it needs a lot of work. And we made it, but it's still, we're just keep Monday and Tuesday right now for cleaning, construction, anything that we can finish it in those 2 days. This Wednesday, Thai food.
Today's Thai.
Yes, yeah.
So tell me, you're from Jordan, the country of Jordan. Tell me about Jordan and what it was like to grow up there. How long were you there in your life?
Yeah, I actually live all my life. I study in Jordan. Jordan, it's a small country between Iraq, Syria, Egypt. So to be honest, as Jordanian, I'm so proud of Jordan, but in the same time, sometimes you have to be reasonable when you're thinking about yourself, your kids, your future. We really in Jordan there is a really good education, and we consider ourselves high educations, but in the same time, with the political things going on around the area, with this many refugees camps and refugees coming to Jordan, Jordan is not that rich country, We try to split the space, we split the work between those refugees, but it's still so hard to survive. So, and as any human all over the world, when you ever watch a movie, The American Dream, I was always hoping just to move to America and do something. And we did it. We moved, me, my husband, and 2 kids, 2013, and came direct to Spokane. I hear a lot about Spokane. Jordan, it's a country, so it's a small country, and it's it doesn't have that much water, like water resources. We have 2 parts Dead Sea and Red Sea, a part of the Red Sea. But it's still not enough. When I start looking for Spokane and how many lakes around Spokane, and I saw this green place that full of water and lakes, it was actually a dream to be here.
Did you always want a green
Yes,
environment and
yes.
just couldn't have it, right?
Yeah, to be honest, it's so expensive, even in Jordan, to go to those water splash, which is you have it over here.
Splash pads.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, was so hard to think about it.
I always think, I've had the pleasure to travel. I've been lucky to travel to lots of places, Greece and Europe and China. And,
Yeah.
And I'm always struck by, honestly, how many things are the same, more than different. The people... What do you think is similar? What do we have that's similar in our culture and yours?
There is many things similar that.
Because I think a lot of people think, oh, it's so different. Everything is different. It's not. Not everything is different.
So I don't know if you're talking about culture-wise or
culture-wise
in general.
Sure.
Yeah. So culture-wise, it's still there is differences. I know that people think always about the differences. We're thinking about differences not because we want to show differences between here or there, because we want to show whoever gonna have our experience in the future what they have to be careful from. When I came over here to Spokane 2013, I was working in my country with American company. I know maybe I still have this accent, but you can understand me and I can.
Yeah, you're doing great. I was
yes.
going to say, I'm, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah. So
imagine
imagine if someone travel without language. I still struggle the first year when I came over here for differences. Even if I do have language, even I have certificate, even if I have saving, that's
though you practiced and you thought you knew the language, it's so different.
Yes, there is some differences that you can't notice until you live in it. Like I will never think that when I'm coming over here, I don't have a car and I have to ride the bus. I don't. So in Jordan, buses, if you went outside of your house, you're gonna find many buses going. There is no time. They're
always going.
Exactly, they're always going.
You don't have to wait for a bus.
Exactly. The moment that you want to go. Yes.
Are they free?
It's not free. No, you have to pay. But in the same time, there is public, there is private. When I came over here, it took me around 1 week to figure out that, I'm waiting 2 hours. There is no bus. What I have to do, until I asked some people and they told me, no, you have to look for a time. There is a time. So this is a small example for many things when I came over here to figure out many stuff, like how utilities work, how everything works. It took me a time to understand everything, and that's a main reason give me a passion to help other immigrants. Before even Feast, I used to help. I used to be a bilingual specialist with a Spokane public school, and
you were a what?
Bilingual specialist.
A language specialist.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you could interpret and help them understand the language. That's really cool.
Yes, and in the same time, I can go to class helping those kids that English as a second language, and this is give me more stuff. When I work with those kids and I saw the amount of gap between those kids and their family, it always broke my heart. I try to help.
What do you mean?
So if you don't speak the language and your kids in middle school or high school, so how you can support them? Some of the kids, they were lying to their parent if they are in detention or something.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, Dad, can you sign this paper?
If I'm understanding, if I'm a parent and I have a son and I don't speak the language, but they do, they can get away with some stuff, and I'm never going to know that.
Many things. This is a gap, for me as a mom. I can't imagine that. I'll give my kids this opportunity just to make stuff,
So going back, you know, food is obviously what you do and you love. I'm guessing that's your passion.
Yes.
Were you always involved with food in Jordan? What did you do there to make a living?
So, actually in Jordan, I was a programmer.
A computer programmer.
Yes, I was a computer programmer. And I did some computer stuff over here. But yeah, you know, sometimes you have to think wisely. When I came over here, all my 10 years experience, I'm just going to ignore them because you want to start from scratch because that's how it is. You want to prove yourself for the employer, for people around you. And I start doing some stuff here and there. I'm a mom. I need income. I need to pay my utility at the end of the month. During what I'm doing, I work a couple of things. Last 5 years, I was with the Spokane Public School.
Because there's actually there are many languages spoken in this city.
Yes.
I think that a lot of people think, oh, this is a pretty, you know, indigenous community. But it's really pretty diverse. Something like 60 different countries, right?
Yes, and we do have over here world relief, you know, like every couple of months.
World relief comes here. Yeah, I think, right? How many, I don't know if you know the number, but I think it's at least 60 plus languages are spoken just in the Spokane public schools.
I don't know exactly the numbers, but I'm pretty sure in my team we were more than 25 bilingual or language specialists. They help.
25 specialists.
But this is not enough comparing to the numbers in Spokane. I'm pretty sure also it's been also the budget with the Spokane district.
District 81, yeah.
Yes, so to afford those specialists for the community, it was always something.
Right, but that's cool that it's there. And without it would be horrible, I would imagine.
Yes, it's really cool. And during this time, I was, in Jordan, there is something we called ourselves our generalists. It's shameful to come over to my house. I'm not offering you a food or a dessert, you know. I know.
So you always have some food to be ready when somebody comes to visit. It's part of the custom, right?
And I found it's a really good way to interact with the community. It's so peaceful when you have an American neighbor and they don't want to communicate with the neighbor, but when you come holding this plate of
powerful
of baklava or some Arabic dessert, and that's how I start also helping those families. We start doing potluck around the Spokane. Okay, let's do gathering. This is all before COVID. Let's do gathering. Let's bring a dish from your country, and it was really good. Yeah, and that's what happened until Spokane Public School. They lay some teacher. I don't know if you heard it before. 3 years they lay some teacher because they also budget things, and I was one of those teacher. And I told myself, you know.
So they eliminated the position.
Exactly.
They had cuts, budget cuts.
Yes, which is I told myself, okay, I'm almost 40 years old. I have 4 kids. I study bachelor degree in information technology. I used to be a programmer, then I moved to this job and to another job. So I told myself, okay, it's time just to do something for yourself. It's time just to rely on yourself and your ability. Between the
gifts,
yes,
right?
I used to do some catering, you know, because when you try my baklava and then you have a graduation party or whatever, hey Maisa, can you make this? And to be honest, a couple of a church, they were really helpful because, you know, when you're talking about $200-300, if you want to rent a commercial kitchen just to do this is
right.
will cost you everything.
Right. So you, even though you have the talent and you know how to make the food,
exactly,
the actual figuring out how to get that launched has to be daunting. So First Presbyterian Church, you know, just across the street from where Feast World Kitchen is now, has a huge commercial kitchen there, or a decent sized one. Yeah. So they would let you guys cook in there.
Yeah.
And so you could do more, sort of a large amount of food at once.
First,
right?
the Presbyterian Church, they've been always supporting for immigrant and refugee
amazing.
before even Feast World Kitchen.
It's been part of their
the
culture
moment that I
forever,
came over here, how I know about Feast World Kitchen, about First Presbyterian, I missed my oldest. She have to go to first grade, and I missed her registration, and then I have to figure out a school because I thought when I'm.
So your first grader missed registration.
I missed her registration because when I came
here.
over here
Right.
in October, end of October. So registration done, school is done. So I don't know also the process. I'm just figuring out. So I came over here. I have just those 2 weeks that I need just to do something for my daughter. And when I asked the neighbor, they told me there is a school, even if it was a private, and even I don't have ability to pay for a private school. They were
available,
amazing.
and you did, and they have a great school there.
Great school, and I love it, and my kids love it. And then I start looking for food truck, or I think I was looking for a food truck or a small trailer that, hey, I want to show up my food. I want to see how it's gonna go. I'm not dreaming in this fancy restaurant. I need
you
just
to test it out.
Exactly.
Right.
I want people to see if that's will be something a really good project in the future or no. And that's how I know Ross Carver. He used to own a compass wagon.
Ross. So
Yes.
Ross is the one who really helped start Feast World Kitchen, right? And partnered with First Presbyterian Church to do that, and a lot of other people. And Novia Foundation in town, Catholic Charities has been a big help with that, right? So he kind of saw this need.
Yes. He's amazing, and
he is amazing.
he always have this smiley face that, hey, we're gonna make it work,
Believe.
either for me or for other people. I got his food truck just to try.
So he got you a food truck.
He used to own a food truck. It's called Compass Wagon. He used to do just breakfast for it, and when I explained for him that,
so he did breakfast for immigrant
on the South Hill. No, it's not for immigrants.
Oh, it was just a commercial.
It's just commercial food truck. But when I start looking for food truck, it's hilarious expensive. When you're looking for food truck, you're looking for $100,000, $150,000. Okay, how a small business gonna be a small business if I'm gonna start with $150,000? So it doesn't make sense. In that moment, it doesn't make sense for me. It doesn't make sense for my husband. But I still do believe that, hey, if someone make it outside, I'm able to make it.
If anybody's gonna do it,
yes, as a wife and her husband, this argument, hey, they lay you off, you're not gonna. I'm sorry, that's okay. I have to silence this. So I told myself I'm gonna make it. So okay, how I can make it? I start walking to some food trucks and ask them, how did you got it?
Right.
And one of them was Ross Carver, and he was laughing the moment that I asked him that. And he was really helpful. If you feel that you can do something, I can. You can try on my food truck. I'm using it for breakfast. You want to do it if you want to use it.
So he did breakfast. You could take the truck and do lunch or dinner.
And I did it for around 2 months.
Smart.
Yeah, and people love it.
So what was on the menu when I went to lunch at this food truck, Maisa's food truck? What was the?
So
what was on the menu?
I used to do 3 main dishes. There is a dish called fattet dajaj, fattet makdous, and I make also sajia.
So what are those?
So fattet dajaj and fattet makdous. Fattet dajaj, it's a chicken dish with a rice. So the idea of those dishes, we're doing it's a layers of food. So you're gonna have bread dipped with tahini sauce, and then rice, and then layer of chickpeas, and then chicken. So you're gonna, each time you're dipping, you have 2-3 things in your spoon.
It's layered, different layers of food. It's a little bit like.
And fattet makdous, it's the same idea, but it's a vegetarian or vegan. Those are 2 Jordanian dishes, and I assume that everyone tried it with me, love it. Sajia, it's cooking beef or lamb on a hot grill, you know.
Okay.
Yes, with the Mediterranean spices, and you can serve it with pita bread or your rice, whatever customer want. Yeah, and I love it, and that's how we came up with the idea with Feast World Kitchen. That
there's other immigrants here that have food and want to share theirs.
During while I'm doing the food truck roast, try to support me by posting something on Facebook, and end up with some racism things. You know, sometimes I'm telling myself everywhere, you know, it's not just, don't think it's just only Spokane. Some people especially who are spreading their bad comments behind the screen, it's everywhere, which is...
So you got some bad comments. So once this came out, there were social media people on social media that were bad mouthing you.
It was a really critical situation because the political things in the United States was not
what year was this?
Stable. 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago. Sure, it was a lot of and there's been a lot of tension about you know the whole immigration policy, what we do with that, right? It was a different world then.
Yeah, I lived 5 years. I never feel unsecured like this moment because
you were in Spokane for 5 years and then it changed.
Yes.
New administration came in and
it changed by behind the screen, you know. It's not changed someone just say it in front of my face. All the people around me was really
the social media.
Good, social media. But it's scared me, to be honest, because when they start spreading those comments, I never think that's, hey, it could someone hurt my kids, because I used to spread cards has in my business information and has my home address, because it's I'm catering, so my home address is the office, you know.
Office, yes. That was probably scary.
It was scary, but in the same time, I told myself, you know, they can't do anything, and if I do believe that if God planned for something, it's gonna happen. If God will protect you from something, He will protect you.
Did you think that was did that surprise you? Did you think that was possible in the United States, that would be going on?
No, I never expect that.
That surprised you?
It's
still.
Yeah, it's still because, to be honest, the variety in United States, nobody should allow to let it happen. You know, the variety and the amount of people and variation over here, don't just do it, because I came from a country that's all the country around us, they start doing racism things, and it's not stable till now. So
just to go back to that, what year did you move, and how old were you? You and your husband moved with your 4 kids all at the same time?
2 kids.
2 kids.
Yeah, and I got 2 other.
And you have 2 kids now.
Yes, 2 American.
So your kids are 14.
Now she's 13 years old, 10. 7 and 5.
You got your hands full, lady.
Yes.
So you moved here with 2 kids.
Yeah.
What year?
2013.
13. Yeah. So 2013 you moved here. What made you move? Were you a refugee, or were you just just wanted to leave and try America?
I apply asylum seeker because I wanna stay in America. It's not only safe when you're looking to the Middle East. Not only Jordan. Maybe Jordan doesn't have war in general to just tell yourself that I have to go to be asylum. No, it's economic issues, it's political issues, and in Middle East we're surrounded by killing, kidnapping stories, and I always wanna my kids to live safe.
Right.
You know.
And the other thing we think about, I think people here think, oh, it's Jordan is its own country. Even if the war is in Syria, it's not in Jordan, but the borders between countries, that struck me as I traveled around, even through Europe. Yeah. You can literally go, what would take you to go from Spokane to Missoula, Montana. Yeah. And in that space, or Spokane to Seattle, you could enter and leave 5 countries in the space that we have just in our states. Yeah. I think that's hard do you think that's hard for Americans to understand, how close the borders are?
It's depend. If you travel a lot, definitely it's not hard to understand.
Right,
that.
I've experienced it.
If you didn't travel, I'm assuming that you will never imagine it.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no war in Jordan, but there is. It's always around you, is what you're saying.
So what?
Even though there's not a war in Jordan, you're still experiencing the war from the other countries nearby.
It's not an actual war, you know. As I told you, you're working so hard, 2-3 jobs, and it's not enough. Economic wise, it was really tough for 2 persons starting their lives and working 4 jobs, and they can't afford enough food for their kids. It's so hard.
The stress.
Exactly, it's stressful. So I always believe that, hey, all these words, it's a land. Just keep trying, no matter what. Keep trying. And now I'm considering America is my country too, because it gave me a lot.
So are you now a citizen?
Not yet.
Okay.
As asylum seeker, I've been waiting for my immigration status. You have to sit with the court, and you know, the last 4 years with the change for the law for in the immigration, it just make it so slow.
So how long? When did you apply, and how long have you been waiting?
2013.
You applied in 2013.
After 2 months from I got over here, I've been waiting all this time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you said there's 70 different countries.
Yes.
Who provide, or those 70 different people who provide food for Feast Squirrel Kitchen.
Yes.
So you every day there's a different country represented with the food that's there. When you got Feast World with Ross and all the help that you've had through the community, what was that like the day you get to cook in there, to have your own kitchen, not just in a truck?
We start Feast World Kitchen as a catering, you know, which was a little bit easier than what we're doing now. And it was more comfy for me, that, okay, catering, I know that, hey, I'm going to do food.
You're comfortable
for
with that.
Numbers, you know.
Right.
But after COVID, in April, when they shut down everything, you know, and cancel everything, most of our catering events canceled, and it was the only income for me. I have another 2 or 3 chefs also involving with Feast. It's the same thing. So we have to sit and think wisely what we can do, and we came up with the idea about pre-order, takeout, pre-order, so I can order, pay for it, and then come pick it up. Yes.
Or it can be delivered by one of the delivery.
Yes, we didn't offer delivery because of COVID. We tried to do pre-order online. You're gonna make the payment online. You're gonna come at Feast. There is table around all the place.
But there's Uber Eats that can bring it to you, or some of those delivery groups.
Yes.
Yeah,
and that's how we start, and people love it. People try and use things in Spokane. It's authentic food.
Was COVID almost a help because everybody was looking for takeout?
It's helped a lot. That time I still remember when I cooked in April. I was prepared for around, let's say, maybe 100 meal, and maybe in that day we sold around 130 or 135 meals. So we over expecting, you know.
You were surprised by that.
I was surprised. In the same time, I was happy, you know, because
you're happy. You're busy.
The process, you buying your own grocery, and the profit, it's for you. Nothing come. Okay, my situation is a little bit different because I'm chef program director. I'm employee with Feast.
So you're the director and a chef, and I'm the director
chef
of the chefs, and you're a chef.
But
so you've got some more.
But the time when the chef cook that night, they can buy their own grocery, and if they don't have enough money, Feast World Kitchen will support them to buy them a grocery if they need.
Wow.
And deduct this grocery from their sales at the end of the day. So all the money that's that night, the chef gonna take it as an income for them, you know.
So what's the most interesting food that you've tasted from other countries here?
To be honest, many things. it just give me my personality growing up more than 5-6 years, you know. It's like you know this feeling that when you're traveling and figuring things out, I'm doing the same things inside the kitchen, you know, like I'm working with all the chefs,
experimenting things,
trying things, talking to them culturally wise.
What's your favorite meal that you've had from another country?
I love many things. So I love, there is a from Singal.
Segal.
Yep. I love this peanut butter sauce. They have this peanut sauce.
From Senegal?
Wow. They doing it really good. I have from Ethiopia.
The
injera, I never like it, you know. The injera, it's a teff flour bread. It's teff bread, so you're made it from teff. It's a gluten free, so it's kind of breads that when you eat it, it's a little bit sour.
Oh, okay.
So
sure.
I never
sour
used
bread.
this. Yes, I never used to
like that taste.
But I love it because you know now with the dish and the flavor that the sour give it to this dish. We have Thai food also. I like it. Yeah, we have plenty of Mediterranean. Maybe I have 5-6 Mediterranean chefs, and most of them they're doing amazing job.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So every night, Wednesday through Sunday, you can order. So how do people order their food?
So if you want to go to the website feastworldkitchen.org, every Monday at 5:30, we're publishing the website for upcoming week.
Feastworldkitchen.org. That's a great URL.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, that's available?
Yes.
I would think so.
Yes.
Somebody around the world would have had that already. But
yes.
Do you think when I hear that, as you know, as a person that, you know, works in the advertising and marketing and video world, right? I'm always thinking about how I help brand something, right? And we'll talk about that because we're gonna Cornerbooth Media, my company, is gonna do some things for you guys.
Thank you.
Kind of, it's gonna be really cool. But what I think of is, when I hear Feast World Kitchen, I don't think just Spokane. If you thought about this growing outside of here, I bet you've thought of everything. You're so smart. What's your dream for it?
Hopefully, keep telling it for everyone.
That this happens in other cities.
Yes, all over the state, not just another city. Yeah.
Right, and all over the state, all over the country. This could happen. Is it happening in other places that you know of?
I think maybe New York they start doing something
sure
close to us.
Cities.
So it's like supporting one person doing or start his own business as an immigrant. But I don't think that's something like us having
where you have 70 different countries that are providing food every week at different times.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yes.
Wow. I know. I think it's such a cool thing. So what just to explain what I was talking about before, every year at Cornerbooth, we try to do something for a gift to our clients, you know. Sometimes it's been, you know, providing them T-shirts or a sweatshirt or something of our company, or, you know, just do something nice for our clients because we appreciate the business they give us, and they become friends as much as they've become anything else as clients. So this year, what we're going to do as a company is in the month of January, we're going to run a digital ad campaign for Feast World Kitchen.
Ooh, that's
so we have, because we already did the work. We've got some really cool video footage that we filmed and some other people in Seattle filmed that we've kind of been able to put together.
Yeah.
And so we're going to run a digital ad campaign so that these ads will show up on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, kind of all over the region.
You're amazing. Yeah.
Well, it's a you know, it's a cool opportunity to help you guys and get the message out. But that's the hardest part, I think, of any small business, that any enterprise like this that starts, is it's really difficult to, it's enough to get the doors open. It's enough to get a customer, to provide them the food. How are people going to find out about it, right?
Yes.
It's a word of mouth town. Yes. So you hope that word of mouth gets around, but it's still, even that's not enough, because there are people in Sandpoint, Idaho, and in Coeur d'Alene, and all around this huge region
they never heard
in Missoula, Montana, that will drive here to eat at Feast World just to get the food from there. So that's what we want to do, is we're gonna try to run an ad campaign that everybody knows feastworldkitchen.org and where I can go. And every Monday, right, you guys provide a menu for people on a newsletter, right?
Yes, it's on the website. You're gonna check on the website what we have, the upcoming weeks, who's available, who's cooking that week. Usually our hours...
sort of a menu of the menus.
Yes, and 11 till 2 for lunch, and we're giving our chef chance to cook between 2 and 4. We're closing 2 till 4, 4 till 8, or 4 till 7. So 4 till 8, Friday, Saturday, Wednesday and Sunday 4 till 7.
So when I get the list of what's available that week, I can plan my week and what I want to eat.
Yes.
Thursday night I'm going to have this or whatever.
To be honest, people love it, and I have a regular customer they've been ordering every night.
Is that right?
It's not easy, you know. If you're thinking about yourself, did you ever order from a restaurant 3 days in a row? I never made it, but I have a regular customer.
Well, you can't. It's not the same as ordering from the same menu because the menu changes so much. It's not just one. It's not like you're eating just Italian every night. You're eating every different kind of cuisine around the world, right?
Exactly.
That is really cool.
Yeah,
That's
really cool. Kind of make our mission harder because, you know...
that's a lot to organize.
It's a lot, yeah. But hopefully that all of them amazing, all of them cooperating. This is Feast World Kitchen it's something came out from cooperation from many.
A lot of people have cooperated to
people,
make this happen.
Yeah. People, organization, community. So it came up from everyone.
That's cool. And we're happy to do that. But I'm also, anybody that does see this, and hopefully we're recording this in December, right before Christmas here, but this will probably come out sometime in January or February. And I would just say to any other business or anybody that wants to help, contact us at Cornerbooth Media and join us if you'd like to help sponsor and continue the ad campaign to run after January.
Yeah.
We'd love any kind of companies or individuals that want to help sponsor and continue to run that ad campaign, because we know that if you consistently run a campaign where people see these ads regularly, pops up on their phone, it pops up on their website, so the videos, the websites they visit, that it's 6 months, a year, you're gonna always you will have established yourself as a company here. You already are, but that really gives a lot of footing to you as a business. Helps, and I would take the stress away, I think, from all of you guys to do that. So that the name of this podcast is The Most Interesting People You've Never Heard Of. Who's the most interesting person you've ever met in your life, whether here or in Jordan? It's probably not an easy question, and you can't say me.
You're gonna be you. It's gonna be you.
Right? No, it's not. I guarantee that.
I meet many interesting people over here.
How about in Jordan? Most interesting person you ever met there?
I can't think about someone exactly.
Or inspiring person?
Inspiring?
Yeah.
Myself.
Yourself? You! Well, that's why I had you on the show. I did the right job then.
Yeah.
You're proud of what you've done, aren't you?
Yeah. So to be honest, I always dream about doing something for this world. I don't know. As a human, I do believe that we need to do something. Like me, you, and everyone need to do something, and
do what they do well.
Exactly, and this time in the world, it's not like 10 years ago. I don't know. I feel that many things change, and we should just take it seriously and work for this.
Be together, because it's unsettling, and it's not together, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Unite a lot better around the good things.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I agree with that. If you could wave your magic wand, and I gave you a magic wand, and you could wave it, and you could make anything happen, what would you do?
Peace.
Peace. Everywhere.
Yes.
Wow. That's a great answer. That was quick.
Yeah.
You've thought about that. You've seen way too much not peace.
Exactly. To be honest, I even with dealing with the 70 immigrants, as a human, we always taking stuff judging, you know, when you hear something, you want to just judge about this or judge about this. But hopefully that in the future, those story I heard from our chef, for definitely I'm not going to mention anybody that for their privacy, you know, but I'm considering myself, I struggled for a year. I'm not comparing to them, you know.
It's harder for them.
It's harder.
It's harder today than it was in 2013.
Exactly.
So you did something really cool though, because you have made it. You are inspiring. You're making this happen, right?
Yeah.
You got a house.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, I just have my American dream came true. Yeah, maybe 2 months ago I buy house in Spokane. I always love Spokane, and I can't imagine that. Okay, when I came to Spokane, I found it's a small city comparing. I lived in a city that has 5 million persons.
5 million people.
Yeah.
What city was that?
Amman.
Amman, Jordan.
Yes, Amman, Jordan. So when I came over here, it was hard for me just to see people sleeping at 9 over here. We start going outside at 9 as a parent, you know. Okay, kids to the sleep, and we start going. But
what do you mean? You was hard for you to see.
So over here in general, in general Spokane, at 9 everything closed. At 9,
at 9 o'clock it's closed.
Sleeping, you know, people sleeping.
Yeah, everything's closed.
Yeah, so it was hard, you know.
Yeah,
what's going on? Where are the people?
Where's the energy and the happening?
But and then I understand it's not just you have to have everything that's you want. Sometimes safety, it's more important than anything else. And I found this place is really safe for me and for my kids. I traveled to a couple of states and those big cities, and somehow it's not 100%.
The people are pretty great here.
Yeah, and people are great. You know, big city over here also, which is, I understand, when you have a big city, people more involved to their business and their life, and they are busy. Over here are people are really nice. They talk to you at least.
Well, you're pretty great. Yeah. I mean, it's a two-way street, right?
Yeah.
You're pretty fun to talk to.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the other. Well, absolutely. So when you left and you came here, how did you pick Spokane? How did you find this? Was there somebody that you knew that brought you here?
Yes, my sister, she was married from American over here.
Oh, so your sister married an American.
She was sending me some picture for
okay, so she lived here.
Yeah.
And she married an American who lived here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I always love the picture, you know, every time she's going to the lake and this. Oh my goodness, all this water, and you can play, and you don't have to pay co-payment.
Right. Oh, what an incredible thing.
Yeah.
That must have been pretty great. So just to have the house, what does that mean to you? It's the American dream.
It's mean a lot. So I can't imagine, even if I still live in Jordan, I'm gonna be able to afford this. But over here, thanks God, that's when you're working hard, you're getting what you deserve, you know. And just first step.
What's the first step? What do you want for the future? What do you hope? What's next? What's your dream?
The most important thing, I came for my kids. The most important thing, just to take care of my kids. I want them to be really educated. They have really good chance over here to be educated and achieve some stuff that I couldn't make it in my country.
The other question I had was, is there anybody you recommend that should be on this, that we should talk to, that we haven't met yet, that's interesting, that you know?
Ross Carver.
Ross Carver, okay.
Yeah.
I think he would be great. He would say, I'm not going to talk. Let Maisa do it.
Yeah, he's amazing. To be honest, I love this guy. He's been always...
supportive.
Exactly. And it's...
he's committed to this happening.
Yeah. And it's not easy for American who didn't travel for all those places that have those issues when we're talking about, and in the same time be understandable for everything, be patient, be supportive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Last question. What's your favorite cocktail in Jordan? Alcohol, whiskey, drink?
So we don't drink.
Is it different?
We don't drink alcohol in Jordan. In general, I don't.
You don't drink alcohol?
In general, I don't drink.
You don't really drink
it. So, but we have...
I'm just looking for your own specialty.
You should try my cardamom tea.
Cardamom tea?
Yes.
It's not alcoholic.
No, it's not.
Cardamom tea, I love cardamom.
Yeah.
Yeah, my really favorite dessert I ever had in my life was in Greece.
Yeah.
And we were at a restaurant, my wife and I, we were in a small island there for a few days.
Yeah.
And we were the only Americans on the entire island. And this is great.
Wow.
It was, and so we started to meet, we met a couple of people that spoke some English. And this one guy said this to me, and I'm curious about your thought about this, because I heard you say, we see America on movies and TV, right? And he said, does everybody in America have perfect teeth and swimming pools?
Yes. To be honest, let me tell you something.
Did you think that too?
Let me tell you something. That's when I was watching those movies, and I'm looking for this family that they backing all their stuff because they want to go camping, What they are doing, You have everything. You have water, electricity, everything, and you're backing your stuff, and you're gonna go inside
sit in the woods.
Nothing, no phone, so.
That must have seemed crazy to you.
Exactly, it was crazy. Why they are doing it?
Why did you leave? Because you have everything.
Exactly.
I've never thought of that.
Yes, and the moment I came over here, and all my neighbor and friends, they doing this.
Go to the lake.
Year.
You go camping
I told them,
here.
You know something? Just tell me, what's the reason? I've been curious all these years to know.
Why are you packing all your stuff up and going and sitting in the woods?
And one of them, she told me, okay, let's try it. I have zero preparation for any camping stuff.
You don't know how to camp, sure.
I don't know, I never did it. So,
you live in a city of 5 million people.
So, exactly. And we did it, and I love it. I enjoy it.
So you camp now?
I camp 2-3 times per year. I love it.
Where's your favorite place to go? You don't have to give your secret camping spot away, but there's some pretty great places. What lake? That's the thing. In Spokane, people will say, "I went to the lake," but there's like 100 of them.
There is 100 of them, and mostly I visit all of those lakes.
Is your favorite place you've been?
Priest Lake?
Priest Lake.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know. I got married there. It's an amazing place.
Yeah?
On the water.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
Priest is incredible.
Yes.
That's great that you went to Priest Lake. Yes. It is a magic spot. That's funny. So what movies did you watch? Because,
I've been watching movies all...
Your whole life.
My whole life.
They're all from America mostly.
Yes. Yeah. Most of it, America. I love to learn the language. I love to... It was my dream, looking and...
Was it music too, or was it just movies and TV shows?
Movies and TV shows.
What was your favorite movie and your favorite TV show growing up of America?
I love all movie Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis movies.
And
Die Hard.
Die Hard is amazing.
Loved it.
Yes. Many actors. Sylvester Stallone
and Bruce Willis. What about TV shows?
Friends.
Friends.
This is the famous one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we should just shut down. We don't have to do anything when it's time for the Friends.
The whole place shuts down and watch Friends.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, my kids are now watching all of them.
Yes. Now it's more.
They've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah. My daughters have watched Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
Which has been on for 15, 20 years.
Wow.
Every episode 4 times.
Wow.
And I was like, do you guys know how much, you spent 2 months of your life watching these shows?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, because and when I was growing up, America's, biggest export was you know, food and was, you know, goods and materials. Now it's entertainment.
Yeah.
And I'm concerned about that as a filmmaker and someone that has produced a movie and understand how the movies are distributed around the world.
Yeah.
A lot of the countries, the smaller countries in the world that you came from, right, don't have access to the biggest movies.
Yes.
You're getting other movies that
old movies.
The
Yeah.
old movies.
Yeah.
So you're seeing movies that were not the most current movie today, but something that was maybe 10 years ago.
Yes.
And often given movies that, you know, don't really, that we don't consider maybe our best stuff.
Yes.
Right? They're
Yes.
action.
Yeah.
Violent.
Yes.
You know.
And sometimes it's overwhelming, or some stories like, let me tell you something about some people from my country were thinking that, hey, American is so easy, you're gonna find girls everywhere, because
You're gonna find what?
Girls everywhere outside, you know, because what's they seeing in the movies, you know, like bars and girls waiting outside. That's what they think. This is those movies.
That's the perception you have, is that there's
girls
everywhere.
Exactly, because when this is to be honest, it's a shameful, you know, like
right.
This is not what's going on. There is family. There is concept over here. They do
right. That's my concern, is that the perception that you have of what America is not what America is.
Exactly.
And have you found that to be the case now that you've been here? It's different, or not?
It's different, but because for me, what helped me, I worked with American company, and I have to interact with them.
You knew some Americans before.
Exactly.
Right.
For me, it's helped me a lot, but for many people who never interact or deal with American, they will assume that's what's going on. That's what I'm seeing in movie.
Not the best of America seen by those films.
Yeah.
I know. And that's the only perception that they have of who we are.
Yeah.
Wow. That's so interesting. I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good.
It's not good.
It's not.
And that's what I'm keep telling them, that, hey, I have a friends over here. You think that, hey, I'm kind of person protective, we don't do those stuff or do those stuff. They have also many families over here are so protective, and they taking care of their.
Last question is about the refugee. There's a new wave of refugees from Afghanistan here.
Yeah.
Have you connected with any of them? Do you know?
I have 2 Afghanistani chef in our
what are they telling you?
One of them, to be honest, when it's happened, she was visiting her family over there, and I was really worried when it happened. You know, it's happened just in one moment, and nobody, no warning. And she was lucky that her plane was in the same day, and she was safe. But her other family, it wasn't safe at all over there. Yeah, it's hard. I'm just trying to support them. It's something not in their hand. I'm trying to tell every American, especially those Afghanistan, they are coming over here. They were supporting American, you know, that they running from what's going on over there.
Because they support America.
They're supporting
leaving there because of...
So don't just hopefully
treat them
they're gonna treat them well. That's what we are expecting.
I think that's been the case so far. I hope, at least here in Spokane.
Yeah.
That they've been treated. You know, that they've been treated well.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, and I my last guest last week, we had a conversation about immigration too, and I wasn't planning to, but his wife has come from here from Italy, and even from Italy had problems here, and you know, we're all immigrants who. America's made up of everyone who came from another place.
Yes.
We've all come from another country at some point. Someone in our family, mine came from, you know, Croatia and Czechoslovakia and that Austro-Hungary world, you know, 100 years ago, not that long ago.
Yeah.
you know, just 3 generations ago, my family was in another country too. So I would hope that more people would be, you know, tolerant and welcoming. Yes. And it is you know, I mean, I understand the issues on both sides, but when it comes down to it, these are people with families and kids. Yes. And they, you know, have the right to to be here.
They don't have another choice.
Right. I hope the best for you. I hope
you.
that you are able to become a citizen.
Yeah.
If you do, will you promise that you let me know, and I want to go see
I'll give
it.
you a big.
Well, I want to be there.
Yes.
I really do. I'm not kidding. I want to come and those are really special. I've been fortunate to see a swearing-in ceremony when someone became a citizen of the United States. It's a big deal. What's that?
You're in a video.
I'll take a video. Okay, that's a deal. I'll do that. Yes. And anybody that is interested, feastworldkitchen.org. Order your food every day because it's going to be a different meal every day from a different place in the world, and it's all really good food. Yeah. So thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you too.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
You bet. MIP Podcast was filmed at the studio of Cornerbooth Media. Please sure to like, subscribe, and follow us on social media. You can also listen to us on Spotify, Apple Music, and anywhere podcasts can be found.